Hello to you all. Peace and blessings be to you all. I hope all is well. I want to come to you all with a video today. In this video today, I want to explain the concept of, I want to explain the relationship between Jacob and Esau. You know, the meaning behind the story of Jacob and Esau, you know, and I'll get into it. So, the understanding, let's say the basis of Jacob and Esau is that they are twins, and they are the sons of Isaac. And while in the womb, they were wrestling. And being born, Esau came out first, and Jacob came out holding Esau's heel. Now, in that understanding, I want to bring the understanding of what that means. Wrestling in the womb. I would see it as wrestling for who will be born first. You know, and that has a significance in the story as it continues. You know, and holding Esau's heel, Jacob is seeking to restrain him from being born first, to hold him back from being born first. And why? As the story continues, it goes that Esau was a mighty man, a man of the field, you know, a hunter. But Jacob was a plain man, a man of the tents. You know, he dwelt in the house, in the tents. And Isaac loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And it came a time where Esau came in from the field, and he was hungry. And Jacob had stew. And Esau was hungry, and Jacob pretty much offered stew for exchange of the birthright of Esau. And another thing that's important to understand, of course, is that in them being born, the Most High said that there are two nations inside of Rebekah, and one is stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. You know, understand that the course of Esau's life is that he was a carnal man, in the sense that he lived freely in the carnal, and those ways brought about a shame or dishonor unto Rebekah and Isaac and the woman that he chose, the woman that he married. As Isaac the continuation from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was to not take unto strange wives, or a wife of a different nation, of the Canaanite nations, of the lands that they dwelt in at the moment. What's displayed is Esau's carelessness for the important things of life. And the important things of life are the spiritual things, ultimately. And so Jacob received the birthright. More so that Esau exchanged his birthright for a meal, Jacob and Esau represents two different manner of man. You have one that takes on the ways of the carnal man, which first was Adam. The nature of the carnal man, which is that the desire to live, freely brings about a lack of awareness or attentiveness to the things of the spirit, which truly brings order and structure, guidance in life. And so he is a man of the past failures, And in life, a man has to understand how to move forward from the past. It is sometimes the pleasure of past ways that keeps a man stuck. Or rather to say, bad habits are kept sometimes by the feeling of the past that it brought, a reminiscent of the past, But moving forward is to move forward from the carnal ways takes the spirit. And the manner of man that is of the spirit was Jacob. You have to understand that change comes by way of the spirit. Change comes by way of moving forward, progressing past ways, carnal ways in which we were once accustomed to, I want to expound the importance of learning from our mistakes, learning from our old ways, as men, and even more so to my people, because we are conditioned and programmed to be subject to fallen ways and old ways. The old ways are the ways of Adam, is what I'm saying. The ways of the fallen man, which is sin, which is a lifestyle that does not consider the spiritual foundation of life itself, the life that man lives. These things are first and foremost and are important before the life that we live in is physical. We have to think about structure. And as the story goes, as the story continues, Jacob received the blessing from Isaac by way of acting as Esau, as Isaac was blind at the time, or his sight was not very well, and so he put on one of Esau's garments, and clothed himself as Esau. And as Esau went to fetch the game to feed unto Isaac, Rebekah fixed the food to give to Jacob to give unto Isaac. I would say there's an importance in understanding, there's importance in understanding, in this story, let's say as the enemy sought to deceive the man from the beginning, you have to realize that a lot of things come back full circle, And so through the seed of Abraham and Isaac and going unto Jacob, you have to understand that it's a matter of who continues in the spiritual seed. And that's to say the obedience to the Father, The seed of the serpent continues in the carnal. That's to say in corruption, And it's important that we be aware of our own ways, And I say this, as a man with my own struggles. I don't seek to present myself as one without struggles or one without temptation, But understanding this, I understand the importance of, seeking to put the spiritual things before my own physical desires, And it takes strength. And so understand this, the wrestling and the wound, and as Jacob grabs Esau's heel, it is a depiction of the spirit seeking to restrain the flesh. As man is of spirit and of flesh, you have to, in this fight between the spirit and flesh, the battle between the spirit and flesh, be of the spirit, the man of the spirit that can contain your flesh, that can restrain your flesh from moving reckless and freely, It will, for the feeling of your flesh, it will feel neglected, it will feel betrayed, but the spirit understands what needs to be done. So what do you identify with? Understand that there is a physical seed of Jacob, but as we know, as the Bible continues, we understand that nothing merely by the physical is is good. It is always of the spirit, that truly identifies a person, and people will either have the spirit, let's say a spirit after the spirit of the Most High, or a spirit after the flesh, To be of the spirit is to seek the spirit. To be of the flesh is that your spirit seeks after the flesh, to follow the flesh, We just have to have an understanding, a sense of understanding, in the makeup, What's up? I may re-record this, for better explanation, but if not, then I just want to explain the importance of the mindset of the man to be focused, to be aware, to any man. But as I said, I speak to my people, the man of my people, because war is waged on our minds to see our people, man and woman, in this certain way of failure. And I know we can do better. I know that there is a better way, It's not by my own understanding, but knowing, seeking and knowing the will of the Father for us, And so, as there is a physical seed of the spiritual man, also understand that the awakening of that physical seed of the spiritual man is to fulfill a certain fulfillment, to be awake in the spirit, And so we talk about that remnant that will be saved of the seed of Israel, To my people, understand that, and don't allow anyone to steer or veer your vision, your sight, from understanding that, And to continue the story of Jacob, after being given a birthright, he journeys, he goes on a journey, and at one point, he rests at a certain place, called Jacob, and as he dreams, he sees the clouds open up, and there's a ladder that extends from heaven unto the ground, and angels ascending and descending upon that ladder, And Jacob says, surely this is the place of God. And he knew it not. He said, how dreadful is this place, And he called the place Bethel, which means house of God, I see it as this world is a dreadful place, you know. But this world is as a journey that we go on, you know, that we rather go through. You know, it's rather a journey that we go through, you know. And on Jacob's journey, you know, he was given the vision or understanding, you know, that and God said he would bring him back to that place, that the very place in, you know, which he was and which he rested, you know, all those things was that pretty much I see it as the house of God is as his creation, meant to be a place where he can dwell peacefully. But it's dreadful because of what it has become, what the world has become. And it's become that way by our carnal ways. And so as he journeys and moves forward from the home of from Isaac and Esau, you know, understand how he has to move forward from there and leave. In a sense, you know, Esau is left behind, you know. So Esau is left behind. We have to leave behind our carnal ways in order to see the truth of reality and what our carnal ways breed, you know. The world that our carnal ways breed, you know. And understand that even from the beginning that it was not God's desire, or it was not his intention that we live in a world as this, you know. But his creation has become corrupted by the ways of our own desire, you know. This is something that we have to understand, you know. To live life freely is not more important than live life freely in our own desire is not more important than finding freedom in God's will and desire, you know. Living life freely in our own desire is not more important than finding freedom in God's desire. A matter of life and death, you know. And as the story continues, Jacob takes unto him 2 wives, Rachel and Leah, you know. Rachel and Leah. And he has 12 sons with them. Rachel, Leah, and their maidens. Zilpah and Bilpah. And he serves he does serves the 7 years for their father, Laban, who is the brother of Rebekah. And as he leaves and journeys, you know, as he leaves and journeys, he has to face Esau again. And Esau was out for revenge against him during the time of his departure, you know. And before coming into the land of Esau, who also, to mention his name, became Edom after taking of the stew. Edom, Adam, you know, the repetition of the ways of Adam, you know, Adam, Edom. And so understand how as he continues and he has to face his brother again, before he faces his brother, he wrestles with the angel. And the angel touches his hip bone. And it goes out of place. And understand that the dialogue between Jacob and the angel when they're wrestling is that the angel says, "Let go of me." As daybreak, you know, the day is coming to, I believe the morning time is what was said. And Jacob said he won't let him go until he blesses him. So take it back to the wrestle between Jacob and Esau. It wasn't only in the womb, but a continuation even for the birthright. But understand how the idea of wrestling, Jacob is a wrestler, you know. And even in being, what would I say, out wrestled in the womb, the spirit in him is destined to overcome, you know. It's more than a physical war, but it's also a spiritual war. So understand how the spirit in him, the spirit of Jacob wrestling against Esau is as, think about the persistence of the spirit of the man that needs to be had in order to overcome his own flesh. The persistence of the spirit within you. And it is the strength of the Most High. The spirit of the man is the strength given unto him by the Most High. You know? And so a spiritual strength, a mental strength as well, to get the birthright from Esau, you know, by giving him a bargain in the stew. You know, I'm just saying, understand the spiritual concept behind it, you know. It can look very malicious in mind. But what I'm saying is understand this within yourself, you know, between the spirit and the flesh, you know. Because the flesh is subject to its own desires, especially in this world, you know, to be provoked to just move so freely in destructive ways. The spirit needs mental strength and a sense of craftiness, you know. You have to outsmart the physical, And I say this as not before anything yourself, man. You know, before anything, the battle within yourself, between the spirit and the flesh. You know, and so as Jacob did not had a hold onto the angel, would not let him go. So also, it was also as that fight. He never gave up. The fight continued. The wrestling continued out after being born, because what he's fighting for is something of the spirit. You know, what he's fighting for is something of the spirit. It's not just a physical battle, but a spiritual battle. And when you understand, when you seek to understand the spiritual war that's going on. And so you will understand it's not a physical battle, but it's one of the mind. You have to see past the physical fight. You know, the enemy wants us to just see things as physical, you know, but you have to use your mind to see the psychological battle that they seek to wage against us, you know. And the spirit in you, given by the Father, cannot accept defeat. So in that, I even say, like, the sinful ways of you have to, it's possible to overcome them. You have to know that and continue to fight, you know. Continue to seek change within you, you know. And so he would not let go of the angel, you know. And the angel asked him his name, and he said Jacob. And he said, no longer should your name be Jacob, but Israel, for thou has strove. Thou has strove with God. And it's something like thou has strove with God and has overcome, you know. Understand, you know. Now let me continue. As he goes to meet Esau, he thinks that he would be mad at him, but Esau is happy to see him, you know. And he says to Esau, for I have seen your face, as if it was something like, for I have seen your face as if it was the face of God. Fighting with the angel represented Jacob fighting with Esau. Jacob fighting with Esau represents the spirit fighting against the flesh. To progress in the flesh, to progress within the spirit, you're going to have to face the flesh. And now that I even think about it, how he was scared to see Esau. He was fearful, because he knew that even as he waged war, or even as I said, that fight did not end within him, he would think that, and Esau wanted revenge, he would think that it was still desired, you know. You know, but to actually be met rather with a sense of delight and being seen, you know. I see it as the spirit, let's say it is a certain fulfillment a completion, you know, in a sense. And overcoming is more than just like it's more than just like battling the angel before he went to see Esau. It's like that completion, you know? And it is like the final stage of that battle between him and Esau, you know? And what you see is that in the life of the spiritual man, the battle against the flesh is like a test and is necessary. You know, the flesh, even the Jacob and Esau being twins, the flesh is going to be there. We are born with the flesh, but the man of the spirit has to know to overcome the flesh. And it's within us before anything, you know. It's within us before anything. And which will we allow to rule, you know? Which will we allow